Like, dude, I could have gone for your.
So this is gonna be the wildest thing that just reminded me of it, but this is why I'm doing this, because it's funny as hell. I'm like this. Have you ever had it as another man, like you live with a woman and you do laundry and you go to put your boxers on and there's like a woman's hair in there and it's like wrapped around your balls? You're like, what the hell is this?
Dude,
what the hell is this?
You got
That's
nothing,
not my
man.
hair. I was like, or when you go to do women's laundry for them because you want to be nice, and then you pull out this fucking thing with like 8 strings and all this, and you're like, all right, let me put it on a hanger, and it looks like something out of Predator, and you're like, I have no idea. And she's pissed off at you because you hung it up wrong. You're like, honestly, man, I have to have a PhD in laundry in order to figure out this shit.
Yeah, I live with 3 girls.
Oh, that's true.
Hair everywhere, man.
You're cutting off circulation down there for years.
Yeah, dude. It's either on you when you go to work. I mean, I love my girls, but I'm just reminded of them more often throughout the day.
That is true, man.
Is the outlook I have.
That is true. My current living condition, you guys are gonna figure out this is what happens. Like, I'll start to get on a topic, and then it's like a small tyrant that I just run off on, and then James is a nice guy to bring me back to home base.
I try, man. I try to keep productive and all that, man.
Especially at work, James is good. Even when I get pissed off and all frustrated and stuff, I'll go over there and try to reflect on him, and sometimes he'll listen for 4 seconds and realize that he doesn't need to listen to it. He'll just zone back into the computer.
I'll realize, hey, Tyler, I'm editing your video right now. I can't talk to you.
He's like, we gotta get views, idiot. Shut up. Go walk away. Go sell a car or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's views. Views is an interesting thing.
I mean, after doing the Valentine's Day video, which that
was a great idea, man. Great accomplishment.
Which I will give a good shout out to
Hunter Awe.
Hunter Awe.
Yeah, the bomb.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We did such good work that he got fired.
he got demoted from doing our videos.
Yes.
We had to do it back with our other, which we don't do that anymore because fight the power. Because
but the boys are corporates.
The corporate boys, you know how those go. So we will shoot more with him. I would be inclined to.
Yes,
it's a lot of fun, and he has some really good ideas.
Idea factory.
Yeah, especially now that the best ideas you have are normally the ones when there's a little bit of fire behind them, and he's like told that he can't do it anymore. So now we'll just do our own and be way funnier.
What's the new name of their channel? A&H or H&A? Used to be
Button Plug. I don't remember. Button Underwear. I don't know.
I try to shout out, man.
I can't remember what it is. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I just remember.
It's all right. I think I got it.
You have a better memory than I do, especially with my lifestyle.
So thank you for your work.
I appreciate it. It's hard work. It doesn't go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first one that I had that I realized this is fun. I have a lot of fun doing this. Even though I had the stupidest handlebar mustache you've ever seen in your life. In our first video. Everybody, that's the only thing they stare at. They're like, why would you wear that? And I was like, alright, listen. I liked it. It was having fun.
You know what I did the day before. I just shot fresh trades, man.
I did. That's the reason why I had a handlebar mustache. And it was so much more fun while doing it. It didn't even look good. It didn't. I just did it because it was funny.
How do we find ourselves in the auto industry?
Oh my god.
Helping customers.
That's so funny. So I started in the restaurants, and then when I was really little in high school, I used to get in trouble a lot, so my mom used to tell me that I couldn't have free time after school, I needed a job and help out the family, which I was okay with. I went and she made me work with her at the animal hospital in the kennel.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
And then I was a kennel worker for a couple of years so she can keep an eye on me.
So you like dogs?
I love animals.
Okay.
I'm never killing an animal.
Okay.
Love animals. So I was in the animal industry for a little bit. Went back to restaurants. Became a server, bartender along those. Had a lot of fun doing that. That night lifestyle got caught up in it for a couple of years.
Got caught up. That's code for a lot of shit happened up in here that I just don't got time for right now.
I gotta be
Continue.
honest. Half my tattoos happened in those years.
Yeah,
Half
see,
of my
all I need
wildlife.
is pain up in here, here.
It got
right
wild.
all up in here.
It got wild, and then I went back to the animal hospital, and I became
All tatted up.
Yeah, and a big beard. I grew a big beard, and I was a vet tech. I was the only guy. Could you imagine me?
I would actually trust a guy tatted up and bearded to be a technician.
Because I was big enough to hold the animals, and I was smart enough,
Like,
and I was really good.
I understand the struggle.
Yeah, actually,
Put your dog right here.
I have a
will
dog
care for
tattoo.
him.
People loved it. So I was like, ha, people, I have a dog tattoo.
In
Just
there.
love me.
Great marketing, by the way.
Smart. Never give up. People love me there. I have great reviews still up there now. My mom still runs the animal hospital to this day.
But a good service to people. You were, as always.
Honestly, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do have fun interacting with people a lot, and I keep finding it. Apparently, I just keep choosing damn harder industries for people to like me in, because shit, like,
You picked the worst.
I picked the worst, and it's so damn hard for people, and it's hard to tell people that I work as a shitty car salesman. Like, I do a great job, and I'm very honest.
Yeah.
And I'm like very, very on the market of this.
A lot of car salesmen's job, or a lot of car salesmen, they
tough.
do a very good job.
It's tough.
Right?
But the stigma is there. So
A
a
lot of car salesmen do a good job. It's the guy before them that
burned them somehow,
burned
some
them.
way.
Yes. Is that?
I gotta be honest. I would never feel like you would be the guy to whack me.
That's awesome. Yes. My boss would probably agree with that.
Like, my first couple cars were the biggest pieces of shit you've ever imagined. My family still makes fun of me for these. My first car was a 1988 Ford Merkur XR4 Ti.
Dude,
Shout out to the real homies that sold me that good car. Oh yeah, that was a great purchase for $2,300 of shit.
It looked cool, man, because you never knew what was like.
It was white,
in
just
that
like
thing
it was
because,
white.
Like, you never got up close to it to be able to be like, I'm really interested in this. It was, it was always like,
You get
here,
it?
this yours.
You know what happened? I drove like this because the steering wheel was way too big for the car. Like, it was like a terrible design of a car, but
It looked.
I liked it.
Like a Ford
Escort.
Escort with
But it had like the front bumper
Like a
was
sweet
like a Fox body,
dual
but
wing.
the back window was a bubble window.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a dual. Mine was only single, but it was an all white. And the crazy thing was 13-inch wheels. I got like 13 miles to the gallon on a 4-speed
Wow.
with 20 pounds of boost on a 3. It was a 3-speed automatic.
That's cool, bro.
But it had like, it was like this weird transmission where if you were like gassing it enough, you could go like this and the car would shift. Like, you would let off and hit it again and it would shift for you.
Almost like a early on automated manual.
Kind of like the paddle shifters, but that car was awful. I had 170,000 miles on him. I think it was pretty much blown up.
Alright, but car talk.
That's how I got into cars, is being such a bad car buyer. I met this one guy through an old girlfriend. It was actually an old girlfriend's sister's boyfriend. So obviously we're all hanging out in the family, and I'm like, oh, so you're dating the other sister? Okay, well, let's be friends.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things in common. He's like, I sell cars. And he's like, oh, he's right around my age.
Did he have any tattoos?
Absolutely not. This kid was a freaking dork. Freaking dork, but he was smart on cars and smart at making money. So I picked up those two mentalities from him, as how to be like aggressive and really go out there. But he never taught me how to sell cars. What he taught me how to do is we would go to random cities, and like, let's say we're here in Illinois, and we would drive to, name a random city.
Naperville.
We would drive to Naperville, and on the way to Naperville, I'd pull up my phone. I'd pull up Naperville on Craigslist, and I'd look for everything under like $2,000, and whatever it was, I'd tell him what it was, and he would know more about the car market than me. And we'd go out there, and we would bash people for their cars, and he pretty much taught me how to whack people on trades, and we'd buy them, clean them up, take good pictures, flip them, like within a week, and we would just be doubling money, double, and then he taught me how to buy a car. And he taught me what was smart and what was dumb, about car buying.
That's awesome.
Don't get me wrong. There was a couple times that it wasn't the greatest ideas.
There was a couple of times
that was my fault. That was my fault.
There were guns involved, and
no guns. No guns.
Or
maybe there was, or maybe there wasn't. I never had any guns.
I look at Craigslist. I never purchased from Craigslist.
Man, I got bought cars off Craigslist where I went to the city and I bought a 1998 Subaru Outback Legacy manual. On the way home, that shit started overheating, blown head gasket. The nice thing is I still flipped it. Didn't make any money. I lost $100. That's it.
Not bad.
Not bad because the next buyer was not even. I drug it home and had to flip it. And I sold it to the next guy, and he was a mechanic. He's like, I don't care. He's like, this thing's amazing. The body and everything wasn't great. He's like, I'll just replace the head gasket. I got parts all over. I was like, cool. I still have pictures on my phone of most of the cars the ones that I really liked. I have pictures of them either on trailers or other people right before they buy them. That would be the last day I have a picture of them. It's weird instead of the first day and what's all my favorite, but I never take pictures of those cars those days. I take pictures of them when they're about to leave, because you never expect them when they're going to go,
How did we get on cars? That's crazy.
So that's how I got into cars. Well, I was in the cars. I started doing that, and then I was like, man, there's so much more money in making cars. He was telling me he was making da-da-da-da-da over at this one dealership, and I didn't want to go there because it has a bad reputation, but...
Was it Viking Dodge?
No. Oh. No.
Because I worked there. I started selling cars there.
Was that Tim Conlon you there too?
No, man. This is my own game.
Oh, that's with Murphy, right?
No, that was different.
Oh, okay. He told me he worked there way back.
Yeah, way back.
But I quit the animal hospital after getting myself in trouble. I got in a lot of trouble, and I was like, I need to change my life.
And I had tatted up, did you?
I went, and I decided to change my whole life, and I went out, made a resume, started applying to places. Drove around, came to our dealer. They were the first ones to call me, and I was like, whoever gives me that first shot, that's where
No. You drove up, you were like...
I didn't even have a car. No. I had an old girlfriend. Shout out to her for being cool and letting me use her car. Even though she don't think I'm nice and all that.
Like that?
No, it was a Nissan Rogue.
Okay. But you're pulling up, you're like, these guys seem like they don't know what they're doing.
I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never been in a car dealership.
But here's this white
the last time I was in a
Grail building that says, car will hire you.
I didn't. I parked in the manager parking.
And of course you did, because there's no signs that tell you otherwise.
Right. So I had to walk all the way around. And I walked in the side showroom and walked all through the side showroom again, all the way past the first.
Did I say hi to you? Did you see me?
Never saw anybody until I got all the way to the middle of the showroom.
Okay.
Right at that peak wall. And
bad customer service right there.
It was old school.
Yeah.
That was the old management. And then I walked in and started talking to the front desk and got an app, filled it out, gave it to him. So-and-so called me a couple weeks later.
That's mostly why we talk about this, is because of the old management.
Dude, that's how we met, was because of them. James and I, the first time we met, on back then, it was weird. Everybody told me that you were this quiet guy that really looked out for his own because people would just be ran through all the time. And one of the things I asked you, it was funny, I was like, so what, the first time, that's it just came back to me. One of the first things I asked you, I said, so what do you got to say about, what advice do you have to give to me as a new car salesman in the industry? And you say, I don't have to give you any advice at all because if you make it past 6 months, that's a shock. Nice. Or if you make it past 6 months, then I'll give you advice.
Wow.
Or something like nobody stays past that long. And I was like, okay, that guy's a dick.